I had to wait a long time, it seemed, for this to go live. I was just sitting here waiting. So, hi, I'm Julie at Love's Beginning, and today what I have to talk about is from the depth of shared purity. So, let me just tune in here. What I was getting this morning was when we're looking for an answer, or when we find ourselves in judgment. We've stopped looking for an answer. We've stopped looking within. We're looking out and judging. Um, but when we're looking for the answer, it's not on a surface. It's not on a you or me surface. The answer is in the depths. It's in what we are always. And I feel guided to that more and more every day when I seem to be moving through the day to be able to, I think this is an ability we're all developing together, to be able to refer to the depths, the shared depths of us, what we all are together, to determine what am I going to say? What am I going to do? Seem to do? What am I going to eat? How is this going to go? And as much as I have an ability to refer to the depths of us and allow that to instruct me, I also feel, and that's what any moment of disquiet is about, um, that I don't allow it to run things. So I just think this can be a joyful time of learning. Oh, I kind of have this. I kind of understand. And I see that I still fight it and it's okay. And every moment of recognizing that I fight it or try to be in opposition to it is also a moment of saying, but show me, or I see what I'm thinking. I'll put it down. Let's see what comes. And it seems to me like I have to reach very far into the depths to get the instruction from what we are instead of from ego, which I'm very used to listening to. So it's, I think it's a joyful time of learning. Um, we seem to live in a world of surface. And I think part of also what we're all recognizing together is the surface isn't real. It seems real. And we seem to have given it a lot of power. That's all up to us. It's all in our minds, our mind, maybe. Um, but to recognize every time I look at a surface in reactivity, what a beautiful opportunity that is. We can stop doing that. And it's up to us. It's always up to me in every situation in which I would feel disquiet. There's this pivot or new way of being that I can come into. And it's always up to me. And it's always so fruitful, helpful. It helps me understand that there really is nothing to be afraid of on the outside. The only thing I could encounter on the outside is what I wanted. If I seem to be encountering victim aggressor scenarios, they're what I wanted. And that's okay. In innocence, we were confused. And I wanted to see outside of myself that which I was afraid to confront within my own mind. But now to understand the simplicity of confronting it within my own mind, seeing its nothingness, releasing it, allowing the depth of what we are to shine through, that it just feels very good. It feels like such a gift. And knowing that gift is available to everybody, also, it's just a gift. It's a gift multiplied. I was given the nudge to talk about A Course in Miracles. It's a book that I discovered maybe a year and a half of what I would call my big awakening experience. And as the years went by, I realized how grounding and helpful it is. And now it's a book I read every day. And it's a book I pick up. I use a Kindle, but I pick up many times a day. And my children will tease me about it. They see it as my Kindle. They're not seeing the book I'm picking up, but they'll say, your Kindle, because they'll see how often I reach for it. And I'm sure for all of us, our paths all look different. Our paths might not include this book, but there is probably some touchstone that we rely upon until we learn to, and that's what we're all learning now, to rely fully upon the wholeness that all of us are, and to trust in that. And when we fully trust in that, I can feel the more I trust in that, the less important it is what any surface looks like, what seems to be happening anywhere. It's just all opportunity to go into the mind and to appreciate and to allow what we are to be reflected back to us in the world we seem to walk through. I guess it's like lucid dreaming. You understand you never needed to be afraid of the dream, no matter what extreme appearances it seemed to take on. And you also get to recognize an innocence and forgiveness that it only appeared because you wanted it. And so it can't be anybody else's fault, because there can't be in anybody else. There's just one of us. So all of that comes together. And I know we might be facing some very challenging times. For example, every day for the past, I don't know how many days, at least a week, I will, as I'm getting down into the beautiful gift, I have to get past these layers of what I thought kept me safe, the attachment to ego. So when I face one of these layers, and I never do it alone, but at the time when I'm facing one of these very frightening layers of thought present in my mind, I feel alone. My connection to spirit or to what I perceive as others seems to vanish. And I do feel alone, although I know I'm not alone, but I will believe that I'm dying or about to die. And I just want to say that's normal. and the body hasn't died yet when I've faced one of these layers of thought. It's everything outside me that I think is so terrible. It's just the reflection of one of these layers of thought. That's what, murder, for example, it's in my mind. It's a reflection of one of the layers of thought that I can confront and sit with and allow to dissolve. And then the access to the depth that guides me in each moment gets easier, because I'm not holding so many blocks in the way. I'm still holding blocks in the way because I still feel disquiet. So that's okay, though. I know it's okay. I know every day's for facing those blocks and being guided through and supported through letting them go. The decision to let the layers of thought in my mind that I use to block love, it has to be mine. No one can do that for me. I have to let the layers of thought, the blocks, I have to let them go myself. But then everything else is done for us and through us. Everything we have to toil after, we think we have to toil after in the world, is done for us and through us. So as I say that, I'm feeling a block. I'm feeling the presence of a block. No, that can't be true. Other people have been working hard, and you haven't been working hard. You've just been working hard on clearing the mind, and you should have been earning money. And, all these thoughts will come up to block that which I know to be true. So here I am today facing blocks, but it's okay. And it's also okay if it feels as extreme as death, because I think this is how it ends. This is how the attachment to fear ends, maybe with repeated times of believing that death has come for me personally and it's going to get me, it's going to punch me, it's all my own pyrotechnics in the mind that I accepted, and it's okay. And I talked to a friend yesterday who said she feels she's guided to while she's letting all this fall apart, to be talking and sharing with people while it's happening, kind of like talking to everybody while you're having a baby, to try to share the experience and tell them it's okay, it's okay. And I feel this too. I feel this is why I'm guided to be talking, just because it helps to hear from others. Yeah, I I did believe I was going to die, and it's still okay. It's still okay, and it passed. It passes every time, and facing up to our own blocking love is always the solution to every problem that looks like it's out there. It seems like such a big ask sometimes, but it's always the solution. I don't think I've talked about this on video because I haven't made a video in a while. But I've homeschooled for a number of years and never had a problem with my paperwork, and a problem came up, and I felt very, very threatened. And in this scenario, I thought, uh, let's say I'll call me Julie to try to stand outside of it. Julie thought she knew the regulations of the state, and Julie felt certain that they were being violated by the homeschooling official, that the homeschooling official was taking on powers that were not her own. What a beautiful demonstration for me of the block to love that I hold up. That's exactly why things don't flow for me when they don't flow, is I try to take on powers as a separate one that are not my own. One of my options was to go into a fight with this homeschooling official and attempt to prove that I'm right. And that I started going down that road, and I realized I want the gift. I want the gift. So instead, I gave her exactly what she asked for from me. I just gave it to her. And now I have the lesson of, I have been trying to wield a power that isn't mine. And that means I can allow the power that belongs equally to everybody to run everything. That's a much better gift than engaging in continuing a fight. So I get to have gratitude for her. Look how beautifully she illustrated this for me. Look how beautifully she helped me see what's happening in my mind, because what I see out there just reflects what is happening in my mind. And if I work at it on the level of the mind, then out there is always helpful. So I feel a lot of gratitude for that. And I still run into fear in the area of homeschooling, because what feels natural for me is just being and not doing what I see. I separate out this idea of forcing a child, and I think I don't like it. So there's a lot of thinking around that could soften and go, and judgment, and I'll be open to that. Let's see where I am now. Oh, okay. I'm guided to watch videos on YouTube, and I've been guided to look up people who are making videos about A Course in Miracles, because I always love hearing about that. And I'll look at the ones that were posted in the last hour. And I love those because they'll come from channels that look brand new, like it might have 3 subscribers and 1 view. Maybe I'm the first one to see a video. But what I'm invited to hear is the voice that is all of us coming through that one too. The voice that is mine, that isn't the ego's voice. The voice that can come through me, coming through that one too. And I feel so happy. And that's my training, to go out to the world and to hear the voice that I am, the voice that the one in that video is, to allow it to come from everybody, to hold no expectations in front of allowing what we are to speak to us through everything and everybody and every situation, instead of being in situations that we believe require defense, to just be open and appreciative and trusting. And this is from somebody who mainly likes to stay home all the time. So, but still, the lessons are here for me, and I appreciate them. And I think we're all receiving these lessons, and to be able to look at them as lessons and opportunities and guidance instead of problems, um, it's very helpful. Okay, so then another idea I was given: access the depth and allow the depth to beam. That's what I was just talking about. That is the equal right now power of everyone. When we fear, we are looking at layers of a surface that we wanted to see. And this is very important to me when I'm in fear or resistance or criticism, anything that feels like it has an unpleasant edge. It's because I'm looking at something I wanted to see. Because why did I want to see it? Because I wanted to distract away from the block to love that I'm holding in my own mind. And why do I want to do that? Because I'm afraid of what's real. I'm afraid that what is real will come and get me. Now I understand that I am one with what is real. So to be brought back to the full awareness of that, it can't come and get me. I am already with it fully. And so is everybody. So it's not so scary that way. The depth is shared and pure. So when I go out into the world, if I can carry that with me, the depth of what I am is the depth of what you are, and the depth is shared and pure. That feels very helpful to me, to carry that out into the world and to be ready to appreciate, to feel relaxed and open and not closed in. And I'm accustomed to just kind of closing off in public. And I'm really being taken out of that, maybe slowly, but I'm really being taken out of that habitual posture. So trust as that happens. Then I was looking at, or being shown, making these videos and why and what's the purpose. And I was shown I get to be like a news anchor, the good news. The news anchors in my physical world help me by showing me what I'd rather see than purity. So if I'm looking at a newscast, one newscast might tell me that some people are being very individually selfish by not following certain protocols. And another newscast might tell me that the government is tyranny. And in both, I can see what I'd rather see than facing up to the blocks to love that I hold in my own mind. So the newscast that tells me that people are being very individually selfish, I could look at that and believe that if I want, or think of myself as selfish. That's just my dedication to seeing the separate self in everybody. And I could just face up to that and let that go. And that's always a good invitation. And then the newscast that tells me that the government is tyranny, that again is just my fear of what we really are, allowing that to boss me around. Well, if there is no me, it's not bossing me around. If it just flows through me and flows through you and meets joyfully, no one's getting bossed around. If we're only one and it flows through us, there is no tyranny. But when I see tyranny on the outside and I fear tyranny on the outside, I am asking the government, oh, here's Natalie, to show up and distract me from what I could let go of, and I can let go of it. And yes, hi, Natalie, I feel the same. Thanks for showing up for me. Removing the blocks to love's presence. Yeah, that's what all of this is about. And I feel grateful that everything helps me. Natalie helps me because she's walking along with me with a willingness to remove those blocks. And then when I see the news helps me, and everybody and everything. And whenever I think that somebody or something isn't helping me, which I do every day, I get the opportunity to stop and have it set right in my mind, just through the intention to have it be set right. So let's see what else I had. Then I get to remember that purity is what I want to see. And I get to go into gratitude. So when I walk out that door, when I go into the grocery store, am I there to get groceries? I think I am, but purity is what I want to see. And I get to go into that in gratitude. I get to experience life in gratitude. That's a bigger gift than any physical thing or accomplishment or amount of attention I could think of. Because when I put myself out here in what seems like public, I find myself thinking, well, if a certain number of people like it, demonstrate that they like it in some way, then it's okay. But if it gets ignored or criticized, then it's not okay. That's a fear that's been popping up for me lately. Just another thing to let go of, because the whole point of this is just releasing the blocks that we're holding in our mind so we can relax and have a good time here and be genuinely helpful to one another. So wishing you well in your week, or until whenever I talk to you this way again. And thank you, Natalie, and thanks anybody who's watching for working on this with me. Bye.